Hey guys, it's Ben here from Wrench Fetish. So today's installment, I have moved locations. I am no longer in my garage. I'm actually at a location I promised I would go and visit soon. I said there were prettier cars in the family, and I was not kidding. This is my dad's car. This belongs to my old man, Mike. I won't call him the M side because he's never going to add content, but this is my dad's 67 Mustang Fastback. He's owned this for many years. This has been in the family as an ongoing project since August of 1980. Is that right? Yeah. So when this car was purchased, this was actually very similar to the Falcon. It was just a daily driver. This was just my dad's car. It was just old and stupid. It wasn't a 67 Mustang as everybody knows them to be now. It was an iconic car, but it wasn't as iconic as it is now. It wasn't known to be probably one of the prettiest and most well-designed Fords or muscle cars of the entire 60s muscle car era. And this was, in fact, a straight six car with a 200 and the Ford C4 3-speed automatic sitting behind it. And this got him back and forth to work every day so that he could pay for 3 bratty kids that would never appreciate him properly until they all got older. I'm gonna rotate this for just a second. How you doing over there?
Not bad.
Everybody, that's Mike.
How you doing?
How you doing? So, what year did you start changing the motor on this? Do you remember?
Probably about 1985.
Okay, so I was 5. So 1985. It was later than that. It had to be later than that. I will share a little tidbit of information I remember. When you changed the motor, you rolled the here, I'm gonna get down off my perch. We'll walk past this, and I'll give you a little preview. This is what's in there currently. I'm gonna turn off your. This is now a 302 from a 1971 or 70 Torino.
71 Torino.
71 Torino. It's amazing how I remember that. 71 Torino with a C4 behind it that is intended for a V8, so it's not the straight 6 C4, which is a much nicer transmission. It has more clutches and bands in it, so it'll handle the horsepower. But it has valve covers from a 1982 GT, which was the car that I rode around in as a little guy. And here's one of the first custom parts I made to go on somebody else's car was this little pony right here. I milled that in there for the old man. And this was made about 7-8 years ago, but it matches the air cleaner that was made many years ago that was made by the old man in his shop at Monroe Tool and Die a trillion years ago. So I'll just wander over here. I'm going to just hold the camera like this. So I remember, this is my little memory that I'll share. I remember when you pulled the motor out of this car, you had to, it's funny, Falcon guys now, whether they're driving the sedans or even the pickup trucks or the vans, they all want the 200s. The Bronco guys want the 200s. If you need a straight 6 for these cars, the go-to is from the 60s Mustangs. And the 67 200 would have been the good one. That would have had the 7 main bearings. It was a great motor. But now you can't find them anywhere.
I put it on your skateboard and rolled it out to the road and threw it away.
And I was like, that's my skateboard. What are you doing with it? Like, oh, I got to get rid of this motor somehow. And I bought the skateboard, so give it to me, kid. So I remember that motor going to the street to get sent away. So my dad is also a bit of my history because wrench fetishing, I want to say it's in your DNA, but it's also partially taught. Would you agree?
Oh yeah.
How did you start wrenching many years ago? Where did you start? I don't think it was you didn't get it from your dad, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I really didn't. He was not really a mechanic kind of guy. He was a craftsman, and he was more of a gunsmith. But I picked it up from my uncle, and my daycare center was my uncle's body shop.
What was your first car?
Believe it or not, it was a Volkswagen that I intended to make into a dune buggy.
Of course you did.
And I bought it for $100. I cut the body off and threw it away. And then when not the body I threw away.
You know what's funny is I didn't know he had a Volkswagen that it was supposed to be a dune buggy. So for everybody that complains that I go too far, too fast, too soon on a project, Apparently, it's
Yeah, and I threw the body away, and then the catalogs came in from California to tell me how much it would cost to really finish it. I couldn't afford it. I was 14, and I would drive the car around in the backyard with no body, with a coffee can for a gas tank. And unfortunately, it blew a hole right through the crankcase, and the whole project was over and done with. Yeah, kind of sad.
it's actually hysterical.
That's what happened.
So, and then if I'm remembering the stories correctly, before you had your first like roadworthy car, you had a motorcycle, right?
Uh,
Did you have your chopper before the
I had my
Gremlin?
car first. I had my '71 Gremlin first.
Now the 71 Gremlin that you bought as a salvage car, right?
Yep.
That car was wrecked, so he and his uncle put that car back together. It subsequently received a bunch of young man treatment
Oh,
very
yeah.
soon after
Beat the tar out of it.
and had to be rebuilt again.
Oh, yeah.
And then along the way, you had a 1938 panhead chopper,
Flathead.
flathead chopper.
Yep.
Okay. Yep, with a longer front end than could possibly ever be necessary.
Yeah, '70s, chopper stuff.
And then you had your Ford LTD with the 390.
Yep.
And the Continental kit on the back.
Yep.
Which is actually a super neat car. Big block, two-door, big touring-ish, tour sport luxury, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Like what the Thunderbird should have kept going
390
as.
4-barrel. It was
Yeah.
a big old highway flyer.
And then it turned into Mustangs, Mach 1s,
Yep.
and then the 82 GT, which was your everyday car.
I figured if you liked Fords, get into Mustangs.
So Mustangs it is.
And here it is.
And here it is. So, but one of the things that he excelled at a young age was as an artist, both drawing, photography, not music like myself. He's tone deaf and can't play anything worth a shit. But he can paint his ass off, and as you can see, he's got his realistic flames on the hood that he did himself. This whole paint job was done in this garage within the last 5 years.
No, actually, we did it in 2010. It's about 8 years old.
8 years already.
Where's the time go? Yeah.
So carrying on, this is what year Mustang did you take this red from?
2010 Fire Effect Red.
Ooh, this is pretty. So my dad specialized in painting cars. How did you fund all your car projects as a young man? As a young father with 3 boys and a wife who didn't work because she was a stay-at-home mom, how did you fund that?
I specialized in painting custom motorcycles. My airbrush skill really pretty much funded this entire automobile.
Okay, and as you'll see in the background, there's some more artwork somewhere over there. You can see Ratfink and Flying Flaming Skull, and you can see another Ratfink driving a almost androgynous year to Mustang. It's got a little bit of 64. It's got a little bit of Mustang 2 going on. But it's a gasser because the fender dumps are where it's at. But yeah, this is this was the car that I remember watching pull away. I remember standing out in the street when this car came home, the color of a tomato, in the mid '80s, and everybody was standing in the rain watching it come home from Howard's garage. I believe that's where it was.
Yeah.
And you panicked because it got water spots all over it. So I'm gonna walk over here. Oh, look at this. Oh my goodness. Did you get those horses from an Audi? Why, I thought only Audis had light up door sills. Here, we'll walk inside. Oh, the lighting in here is miserable. All right, I'm gonna apologize for the lighting, but I drove around everywhere in this car as a young man. This is the kind of stuff I drove around going to cruise nights and all kinds of car shows and everything. Look, there's a horse in the back seat. So when you see those guys who go to the car shows with their California Duster and a stuffed animal in the front seat, yeah, this is one of them. These are the guys we pick on. Oh. Alrighty, well then. All right, guys, so just a quick wrap up. This is the pretty side of the family. There's one more car in the family that I'll show off probably in the next couple weeks when the sun comes out and we can start bringing these cars out into the daylight, because it is actually currently I am filming in the 3rd week of April in upstate New York, and it is 36 degrees out, I think. It is, what is it? It's 35 degrees out, and it's raining and snowing. So the cars aren't quite out yet. We actually had the opening day of Watkins Glen this last weekend. Did you know that?
Whoa!
Yeah. Guys doing 110 miles an hour down the street in the rain.
Beautiful.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine that. But we're not.
No.
We're still hunkered down doing our last minute radiator flushes for the cars that are ready. This one you just like dust it off and go driving for the summer. It's not like me where I keep cutting right up to the deadline. But I want to thank my dad, Mike, for letting me walk you guys around the garage here in western New York and showing you his beautiful couple-ownered 67 Mustang fastback with a 302 and some big meats. I can't show you a burnout in it today because it would spray salt all over it and it doesn't have coolant in it.
Yeah.
And we're already a little shaken. That's a story for another day.
For sure. Not right now.
But
No.
it's too soon.
Yeah. It's too
I'll
soon,
say
man.
to everybody out there, whether you're stapling your hand to the floor with transmissions, whether you're knocking out fake teeth with welding gloves, or using ramps and jack stands in conjunction, please be safe. Take your time. Keep your wrenches spinning, your grinders flying. I'm Ben from the Wrench Fetish,
I'm Mike.
and we're out.
See ya.
See ya.